look at this. What shall we do? Let's react to that. Let's react to some goofy Faze Rug. Okay? Let's react to some goofy Faze Rug.
Warning, this video you're about to watch is not to be taken lightly. These were real crimes committed by horrible people. I do not condone or celebrate any of their actions. This is for educational purposes only. This is a pretty eerie video. We are about to be revealing inmates and serial personal items. You know I couldn't do this video alone, so I brought someone who's known to do these styles of videos.
Do that video alone.
Before. Super dark. Jake here actually owns a lot of their personal items. How many do you own?
Way too much, because I've done so many videos, and now they're just all sitting in a room. I don't know what
God.
to do with them.
Yeah. Jake here has brought some of his items, and we had Taylor from Cult
Magic
Collectibles
Johnson
drop some items
shirt.
for us to look at, so we have a solid amount. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So for the very first item, this was actually gifted to Jake by...
Who's that? Do you guys know who that is?
infamous serial killer Nico Clo. How did you even get in contact with him?
Well, I was reading about this guy, right? And I find out that he's actually free. He's known as a serial killer, but he only got caught with one crime. Everything else they couldn't prove. But when he was arrested, they found skeletal remains and funeral jars filled with human ashes in his apartment.
He was caught with all that.
That was all found in his apartment, but they couldn't link him to any other, and now he's free.
Do people know that he did more?
Yeah, it's very well known. Like, people do not understand why he's free, but he is.
I'm actually not going to touch this item for various reasons.
I wouldn't recommend touching it.
I can't touch this item
What is
because
it?
I've had a pass with these things. But
Wait, what is it?
This was handmade and gifted to you by
Yo,
Nico.
Jackson's here too.
Oh, gosh.
Hi.
This
What
is
the hell
we
is
call
this?
The serial Ouija board.
Well, let me just
Serial
step back a
Ouija
little
board?
bit. Dude, that is crazy. He created a Ouija board for you, and it's themed serial killer.
Yeah, that's not even the craziest part about this. There's John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy.
Okay, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, maybe? And who's that?
Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein. And do you see all the spurts right there?
That's his.
I think his.
That's like
That's
what he
fake.
said.
Yeah, that's what he said. And then when you flip
That's
it
definitely
over,
fake.
he signed it here with an upside down cross and his.
Don't tell me you've ever used this.
So I used this one time and I blindfolded myself and it spelled out the word rose. And I was like, that's crazy that it even made a
What does
word. Because I
rose
thought it was just
mean?
going to be like.
Yeah,
Plant.
Does Rose correlate to anything?
That's Ted Bundy's daughter's name.
What?
I had no idea. I've
Ted
always
Bundy
been
had a
known as
daughter?
someone that's a skeptic, and I did that. I didn't think anything of it, and then I literally felt like crapping my pants whenever I looked that up.
Are you still a skeptic?
My book used to be
Imagine pooping your
closed.
pants.
Now I always keep it open.
Because of this experience?
This and more, you know, just having this stuff
hey,
around,
that
you know,
was my
weird
chair.
stuff happens.
Guys, there's a reason that we're doing this out in a park. Like, a lot of scary things have been happening to me in my house. Like, I feel like
That's
there's a
fake.
spirit attached
He's
to me, so
faking.
I just didn't want to
He's
bring
faking it.
all
That's
this
all
stuff in
fake.
my home.
That's all fake,
Remember
Franco.
anything
This
bad
morning our
happening.
door just
Keep it safe.
shut
Yeah.
closed randomly at
Yes, this
night.
morning. No, this morning. It was like 2 in the morning, and our door just randomly shut closed.
It was just like this.
Yeah,
It was like this.
but there was nobody
Loud
there.
as it can.
Yeah, and there was
woke
nobody
everybody
there.
up.
It was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and it woke everybody
I don't
up.
even know what it
It
was.
was so
Is
creepy.
also known as
Yeah.
the Night Stalker, who would break into people's homes and around 13 people.
And
It's not
whoa.
confirmed. There could have been more. There could have been less. What do we have from him?
So with serial killers, people try to write them all the time. They don't usually respond to a lot of people, but the ones that do ask for things like this. This is a dinosaur artwork made by Richard, and it's signed here as Richard Ramirez,
Wait.
Night Stalker.
So someone that
Wait, let's actually look at this dinosaur thing.
A dinosaur
I know there's some really
Oh, it's so.
artwork made by Richard, and it's
Let's actually look at it. See how it. So it's got. Dinosaurs don't have a mane.
signed here
I don't know.
as Richard Ramirez, Night Stalker.
So someone that wrote to him requested this, and he actually like drew it and sent it back.
It might have been requested, it might have been on the bottom of a letter, because it's like a piece like ripped off. You can see it's ripped right there. As you can tell, it's very bad artwork. One thing that I find
I mean, it's
interesting
not
is
that
that it's
bad.
signed the Night Stalker, but eventually they didn't allow him to do that anymore. So it's rare in that case that he signed it as the Night Stalker.
Do you know how many of these these he's made.
When it comes to serial artworks, no one really knows.
There could be some out there right now that nobody even owns. There could be some that got like burned, thrown away.
Whenever they send out things like this, they trust the person they're sending it to. They don't think it's going to go in other people's hands.
How do these items even get in the hands of like you or like people? Are they auctioned off? Like how does that even work, if you know?
So these things are acquired through people that write to them in prison. For some odd reason, serial killers get a lot of letters and they only write back a few people. So these people that write them will write them for years and acquire a big collection of items.
Guys, this video might be a bit longer because I'm going to pause. But if you want to watch this video without pausing, go to Faze Rug's channel and it will be that.
So that's how it gets into other people's hands.
Okay. First they gain their trust to acquire a lot of their items, and then once they like pass away, they probably just have like an entire collection of them that they probably sell or auction off.
Exactly, and sometimes people will start selling stuff while they're writing, and they'll stop writing to them because they found out.
Ooh, this is giving me chills, bro. What?
It's crazy.
This is one of the most widely known cults in American history, Heaven's Gate. Scary fact about this is that this happened in San Diego.
Hey guys, we're back.
Scary fact about this is that this happened in San Diego, which is where I'm from, and I've heard about this story. I actually used to live in the specific suburb where this happened.
That's crazy.
I know.
So the Heaven's Gate cult believed that their true form was aliens. They thought that our bodies are just vehicles in Earth.
I've reached the daily upload limit.
Guys, the boys Beaumont has reached the daily upload limit, so no more uploads until tomorrow.
There's a garden for souls. So they believe that their soul was not human. Their soul is actually an alien. They need to get to it.
I heard that a comet was passing by Earth, and they believed that there was a spacecraft behind it or following it. And they believed that the only way they can get on that spacecraft is if they left Earth.
So 39 people did that. And you could even find online the initiation tape that the leader would show people to get them to join.
I don't know if I want to see this.
Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
So is that the leader of the cult?
Yeah, the leader's name is Marshall Applewhite. And this
Marshall Applewhite?
So this actual book is from the 90s, and they
Why
would
can it
read
say
this
cult but
to
not
learn
serial
about the
killer?
religion. I mean, cool. How and when Heaven's Gate, the door to physical kingdom level above human, may be entered. So most of the book is how to abide by the cult, but here you also have their posters to where they wanted to get people in. They would say UFO cult resurfaces with a final offer. They're pretty much saying that if you didn't come with them, you're screwed.
Your only chance to survive is to leave with us.
Literally like a recruitment paper in there.
They would tell people that your life continues as an alien, so you better leave with them now, which is super scary.
Or else there's no other way to do it other than
So
write
how
them
is
in there.
that?
Yeah.
Wait,
And
how is that scary? It's just people who believe in aliens.
this book right here was actually in the mansion where 39 people were found deceased by a former cult member. This right here is called UFO Missionaries Extraordinary. So this entire book is an interview with the leaders of the cult about their beliefs of this. You open it up right here. Here's the stamp. It says certified as state of Heaven's Gate. That's crazy. Obviously this was from the 70s. You can see it's like ripped up, torn apart a little bit, but with this type of video, like it's just so crazy that you have it in your hands. Like I was expecting to wear gloves because I'm like, I don't know if I want to like touch these things, but like it is insane. Next person is Lyle from the Menendez brothers, infamously known for taking their parents' lives for their riches.
So besides O.J. Simpson, this was like the biggest trial in the 90s.
Really?
It was on TV every single day.
People were really intrigued in this case because
Do you know what the biggest trial that happened 2 years ago? Johnny Depp.
why would two kids who supposedly had it all commit such a heinous crime?
Well, Lyle was 21 and Eric was 18, and they weren't originally thought of as suspects. It was after a couple months when they blew $700K of their parents' money that people were like, okay, something's going on.
I thought they would
Why
have
would they
been
do
caught
that,
like right
stupid
away, or like
idiots?
right after it happened.
I don't even think I could spend that much if I wanted to.
Yeah, so here we have a letter by Lyle Menendez, and it was written to
leader?
someone that wrote to him in prison.
Exactly, so this is one of the cases where someone has their trust. These guys are known not to write to anyone.
Wow.
So this person that wrote to them, it's very rare.
So this was actually dated in 2018. That's pretty recent. So here's the letter. We're gonna put it up on the screen. If you guys
Okay.
want to pause and read it, but as you can see at the bottom, it says, "You're in my thoughts, right anytime," signed by Lyle himself.
It's really weird to think that, like, he was in prison writing this on this exact paper with a pen.
He touched this paper.
And now it's in our hands.
I find it very odd that people glorify these types of people.
Sorry, guys. I just keep getting Snapchats.
And now it's in our hands.
I find it very odd
I'm on
that
tablet,
people
'cause I don't know
glorify
how to
these types of
record
people. I just honestly am uncomfortable with this around me in general, like in my presence. So I think we should just move on.
Yeah.
That later.
This next item is a
that
Polaroid
looks
from
crazy.
cult leader Charles Manson while he was serving time in prison. He's the one in the middle right there.
So Charles Manson was super charismatic, and he used that in an evil way. I mean, that's how most cults start. You always have a charismatic leader.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
So he was gathering people that
What
pretty
was
much
that?
would do anything that he said. The cult was known as the Manson
Nah, pros are like nobody.
family. One day, Manson
That's
had
crazy.
a group of his followers go on a spree in Hollywood.
Dude, it makes me wonder, how do people get so manipulated into doing something as extreme as that for someone?
I always thought about it as, with cults, it's just the confidence that they hold. Charles Manson was absolutely delusional, but he was so certain with every word he said that people just believed it.
So Charles Manson didn't one person.
Technically, no. He got people to do it for him.
I mean, the blood is on his hands.
Exactly.
So while one of his followers was serving time in prison for the crimes that they committed for him, they made this bead art right here. Why am I touching it? I feel like the fact that they touched this and they made it, like, that's crazy.
And the face is just like super unsettling in
why is
itself.
the
It looks like something you'd see in a nightmare.
This looks like something that you'd see in, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog. You know how, like, they'd have the creepiest villains in that show?
Why was that show so scary?
It was so scary. Like, do you remember the Return the Slab episode? Return the Slab. Like, next person we have is Gary Plausch. So Gary took the life of the man who kidnapped his son and did horrible things to. The craziest part about this is that it happened on a live broadcast. People actually viewed him as a hero because he got justice for his kid. And this is a membership, you can see his name right here, Gary Plausch, to a steak and seafood house that would have been in his wallet. Next up, we have an item from Ted Bundy.
So Ted Bundy's mainly known as a serial killer that used his looks and charisma to lure in people and gain their
Wait, he looks
trust.
Kind of like
Why?
the cold air we were talking about before, right?
He
Like
looks
Charles
ugly.
Manson.
Why
Exactly.
does
He
this
would
girl like
pose
him?
as a police officer or someone with crutches to get help and then commit his crimes.
And he's known to be one of the most high-profile serial cases in history. This is extremely rare to find Ted Bundy items. So many people wrote to him, and he responded to so little. And here we have a card. This was signed by Ted Bundy himself. I don't know why I'm touching it, Jake. If you want to just like...
Why me? I think the exact same. It gets into my head where I'm touching something that they've touched and it just freaks me out. Oh, I just thought of something, dude. Do you think that he like licked it right there?
More than likely. And you just touched it. Yeah, that's enough from that. This is one of the scariest serial killers, in my opinion, John Wayne Gacy. He's also one of the main reasons that people are afraid of clowns. In front of us, we have legit paintings that John himself hand-painted.
So
he's actually
earlier we
alright
talked
at
about
painting.
how serial killers reply to so little people. John Wayne Gacy replied to pretty much everyone. He had an art dealer. The art dealer would give you a sheet. You fill out which one you want, and then you would order that art. So he's made over 2,000 paintings. This one is the most infamous one. It's called Pogo the Clown. Pogo the Clown was the clown character, his persona that he was whenever he went to parties or children's hospitals.
Yeah, it actually took John a really long time to get caught because he was highly respected in the community. He did so many kids' birthday parties as Pogo the Clown. He even shook hands with former President JFK's wife, Jackie Kennedy.
The First Lady. So as you can see, it's a self-portrait of him waving
did that?
with J.W. Gacy signed in the bottom. And right here it says, I'm Pogo the Clown. And there's an actual photo of him waving just like that in his costume that you could find online.
That's what I was gonna say. I've definitely seen this picture online. So this is a painting called Wish, and as you can see, he signed his name right here. And if you look at
Those are wrong.
Gacy had 33 victims, and he made 34 of these. He counted himself as a victim. He never admitted to his crimes. So they say that each one of these represents one of his victims. And for some strange reason, he also counted himself as one.
So he never owned up to any of the crimes he committed. I don't know if he genuinely believed that he didn't even do any of them, but if he's already on death row, he's literally gonna get... Why not just own up to it?
That's like the strangest thing. There's no reason not to at that point. It just shows you how horrible of a person he is.
Yeah, he actually thought he was innocent in his head. He then later got shot by lethal injection.
So this one right here, in my opinion, is the craziest painting I own.
Oh, it's got blood on the
by
mouth.
John Wayne Gacy, and as you can see, it's a skull with a little bit of blood here by the mouth. That's because this is his take on painting Jeffrey Dahmer.
No way. That's Jeffrey Dahmer's skull.
It's called Dahmer's skull, and it has right here because Dahmer was a kid. So this is a piece of art that involves two of the most infamous serial killers in history. No one knows why he wanted to paint Dahmer's skull, and it's even interesting because he hated Dahmer. He always said that he was innocent and Dahmer was a bad guy because Dahmer was a serial killer, so it made no sense. So small world, my friend's dad reached out to me and it was like, I actually owned one of those back in the day, and I found out that he actually bit a piece of his thumb and like pressed it into the mouth. So there's a few of these in existence, and on that particular one, Gacy put a piece of his skin on the mouth to symbolize.
What happened to that one?
He put it in a warehouse and the whole warehouse burned down.
That can't be a coincidence. Speaking of Jeffrey Dahmer, we have some of his personal belongings. This is easily the darkest serial killer of all time.
Especially because there was that series last year that really showcased you what his life was like. It just really is extra unsettling.
Yeah.
This is an item of kitchenware from Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment.
Dude, it's so weird that like, I don't want to touch it, but as soon as you pulled it out and like the more I look at it, it's like actually making my stomach turn. Just thinking about all the crimes that he committed and what he actually did, it makes me feel nauseous.
Especially because he was like he used his kitchenware as a part of his crime.
Exactly.
It's really hard to process that this was in his place.
Wait, so he could be holding something that he used to eat people. Damn.
Apartment, and it's just in your hands right now. It even has like marks on it too. Like, it's really unsettling to look at for sure.
I keep it in a box very far away from me in my house. It's a part of history, but at the same time, it's something that I just don't even want to look at.
So this was a magazine found in Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment at the time of when he got caught. And the craziest thing about this is that you can actually see this in one of the crime scene photos. This exact one. And I'm touching it. I don't know why. So if you watch the docuseries, you'd see that Dahmer would actually go clubbing, and in this magazine is an ad for one of the clubs that he'd actually go to. It's Club 219 in Milwaukee.
I've never seen an item that was in an actual crime scene photo. So right here it says Wednesday, July 17th, right? This is a photo, a crime scene photo of Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, and right here you could see the exact same pamphlet newspaper thing. It's not a copy, this is that one. This is the first thing I've ever seen that's actually from a crime scene photo,
right? So the last item of the video, we actually have a letter handwritten by Dahmer himself to his grandma. And this was actually when he was in the army, and this full letter has yet to be revealed to anyone. So we're seeing it for the first time. There's 3 pages right here. We're gonna pop it up on the screen if you guys wanna like pause it and read the whole thing. As you can see, the paper he used said United States Army.
I went to a German restaurant and ate
a loving sandwich.
It's something that's just so innocent that someone so terrible is writing. Like, hey, I just went and ate a sandwich.
Yeah, and it literally said right here too, like, have you finished working in your flower fields yet? Like, it's just so innocent, but he's not innocent. He's literally the worst human in the world. What's crazy about this is at the time that he wrote this letter, he had actually committed 1 murder already.
What's scary is how serial killers blend in with society. You never know if you're ever gonna walk by one, talk to one. I remember recently reading that the average person walks by 36 in their lifetime.
That's horrifying.
And this isn't like, you know, walking by someone in distance. This is kind of like standing right next to someone, brushing someone's shoulder.
It's actually such a scary thought, because that gets me thinking now, like, have I already like walked past half of that amount?
Or rode in their Uber.
Once again, we just want to clarify that we do not support any of these people we mentioned in this video. We're not glorifying them in any way or condoning anything they did. This video was for educational and historical purposes only. On that note, thank you so much to Jake Weber for coming down. Everyone, please go make sure you hit that subscribe button on his channel. And huge shout out to Taylor from Cult Collectibles for bringing some stuff down here that we could showcase in this video. Spooky season is right around the corner.
So, that was Faze Rug. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, guys. Peace.